Everybody, good morning. It's so good to see you. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and today we're going to talk about a couple of things. Number one, Amazon is in trouble. There's a company that is posing a significant threat to Amazon, and I think that's worth talking about so you'll understand what's going on in this side of the economy. Second of all, there is a stock that I love, and I'm actually going to buy shares of this company. So, as part of your profit alert, I'm going to break this down for you. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics every single day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day, under the B1 condition. B1 means we are Black first. That does not mean that we hate white people. It means that we love Black people. Give me a yes if you agree. Put a B1 in the chat if you understand. Also, we educate our kids. We prepare for the future. We invest in our community. We want our people to win. If you agree, if you believe in things like Black wealth, Black love, Black education, Black power, Black unity, Black progress, put a B1 in the chat. Those are the people I like talking to. That's what we got to focus on. So anyway, I want to say good morning to everybody and also do my quick audio check. I'm in a hotel in New Jersey, and I want to make sure my Wi-Fi is working. So give me a yes in the chat really quick. If you guys can hear me, just give me a quick yes. Yoshika, Black Voices, I see you. Helen, Sandra, Ken, Felicia, Stephanie, not Stephanie. Oh my gosh, I can't read today. Anyway, so let me know if you can hear me okay. Also, this podcast is on Spotify and it's on Apple. So if you go to Spotify and Apple, you can find me there. We are building Black-owned media. We have to confront the nonsense, and I need your help with this. We have over 1 million downloads on Spotify and Apple. So go to Spotify and Apple. Just look up my name. It's totally free. Also, the Black Financial Channel. I'd like to also brag a little bit. The Black Financial Channel. Again, this is independent Black-owned media. This is not corporate sponsored. This is not, some celebrity on TV. This is not some stuff that was funded by the Democrat or Republican parties. We did this. We actually just passed 10 million views on the Black Financial Channel. I'm very happy about that because it took a lot of work to get here. So we just passed 10 million views. So we're getting it done, y'all. We're reaching millions and millions and millions of our people. And just so you know, the Black Financial Channel is one of our smaller channels. And we just hit 10 million views on one of our smaller channels. Come on. Give me some props on that, man, because this is taking so much work and so much effort, but it's not just me. It's a whole team of people. And without you, we can't do any of this. So I want to say thank you to everybody in the B1 Nation for having our backs. We're going to continue to support you. I'm going to use every ounce of my PhD in finance to make sure that you are the most economically prepared group of people on the planet. That means you will be ahead of everybody. I promise you. So let's make this happen. Let's get this done. God bless you. And if I see you at the All Black National Convention next week, I look forward to giving you a hug. If you want to come to the convention in Atlanta, just go to allblacknationalconvention.com. All right, so hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what's going on with Amazon. There's a major issue, like almost like a threat happening with Amazon that I thought was worth talking about. And also stick around to the end, and I will give you a stock that I really love. Some of you came in because you got the profit alert. Well, I'm going to deliver on that because this is a stock that I'm definitely going to buy myself. All right, so here is what's going on with Amazon. Has anybody heard of this company called Temu? Temu. Temu, and there's two of them. They're Chinese companies, Temu and Shein, that have literally just kind of come in like a blockbuster, just almost like 50 Cent coming in and taking over Ja Rule's spot kind of thing, where literally these two companies have come in and experienced unbelievable amounts of growth. Apparently, Temu is at the top of the App Store, and they are killing it. They're absolutely killing it. And what they've done is they've kind of taken e-commerce into another level. They have gamified it, made it almost like a casino, and which is really interesting. That gamification thing is interesting because it triggers and it taps into the part of us that likes that dopamine injection that comes from gambling and things like that. And then also they're willing to lose money. They're willing to take a major hit financially in order to grow, which is making them a major threat to Amazon. And Amazon's dealing with a lot of issues right now. And it's very fascinating because Amazon is a stock I've made a lot of money on. It's a company that I believed in for a long time. I haven't stopped believing in Amazon. I made a bunch of money from buying a lot of the stock when the price was really low and doing what we talk about in class, which is call spreads. I did call spreads on Amazon and Chipotle, and those worked out really well. It's nice when investing works the way you expect it to because I want you to understand it ain't always like that. Sometimes you make make the best assessment you can, you do the best research you can, and sometimes things go wrong. So I want you to understand, if you are an investor or you're becoming an investor, don't think every shot's going to go in. That's not going to happen. You don't think everything's going to go right. Don't think every call is going to be perfect. Also, the other thing about investing that's really important, and I was expressing this to a brother that interviewed me. We did a long, extensive interview on a really great platform. Everyone should check out. What was it called? This I Never Knew It TV, I believe this was called. And he's a really smart guy. And we were talking about investing. And one misconception people have about investing is that you always get everything right. Now, I've been teaching college students since 1993, University of Kentucky, Indiana University, Syracuse University, the Ohio State University. I taught in China, etc. And I can tell you, there's no expert on the planet who gets everything right. The chairman of the Federal Reserve sometimes gets it wrong. That's why we have the inflation problem. So when you start investing, or as you pick up your investing, I hope everybody's investing. You really got to do this. Just know it's not going to always go right for you, right? So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Also, you need time. Time is a really important factor in investing. A lot of times in a society of very short attention spans, a society of instant gratification, a society where people don't have any patience, they don't let their investments actually flesh out and become what they're supposed to become. Some people think about investing the same way someone would actually, like, have a newborn baby and think that if they feed the baby a whole lot of food, it'll grow to be 6 feet tall in 2 weeks. A baby does not grow to be 6 feet tall in 2 weeks. Give me a guess if you understand what I'm saying. It doesn't matter how much food you feed the baby. You might actually kill the baby if you feed it that much food. But no matter how much you feed it, it's not going to grow 6 feet tall in 2 weeks. It's going to take years for that to happen. So some of your stocks are the same way. A lot of wealth is the same way. So anyway, Amazon, it's interesting that Amazon is dealing with this threat from Temu, because Temu is obviously playing the long game. This is what makes the difference between Chinese investors and American investors. American investors and American corporations are forced to think quarter by quarter, year by year. Chinese investors can literally make a plan that's a 20-year, 30-year, sometimes 80-year plan for their country or for their company. And in fact, a lot of Japanese companies make 200-year plans for their companies. And this is one of the reasons why in the Black Business School, I actually talk to you guys about this when we're talking about long-term plans for your family. I literally encourage everybody, make a 100-year plan for your family, because it's very easy to put yourself wherever you want to be if you give yourself 100 years and understand that you're part of something bigger. It ain't just about right now. It ain't just about 2023. It's about 2033, 2043, 2053, 2063, 2073. And if you plan for that now, then you can dominate in the future. China is dominating and kicking butt economically because they are in the 50th year of a 100-year plan for global economic domination. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? China put that plan together when they were at the bottom of the economic barrel. They were the scrubs of the global economy. They were made fun of because they were so far behind, so backward. They were in a worse position than even the worst of the African American community. And y'all know Black people got a lot of problems. China was worse than that, but they made a plan. Do you understand? They made a plan. And by making that plan, look at them now. Look at them now. Started from the bottom, now they here. And here's the crazy part, y'all. I want y'all to understand this. This is why Temu is really threatening Amazon. They're only in about year 55 of that 100-year plan. You do understand that, right? So this plan isn't going to be done till about the year 2070. So you have to be able to think long term. Wealth builders can think long, they can think wide, they think big. Small-minded people who are short-sighted and selfish. If you're short-sighted, selfish, and small-minded, you will never have wealth in this society. Do you understand? If you're small-minded, short-sighted, and selfish, you're thinking about you and only you. You can only think about you can only plan as far as next Friday, and you can't think big. You're only thinking about the little things in front of you. You will never have wealth, because wealth is an accumulation process. Okay. And this is me thinking about wealth from a mathematical standpoint. We used to make equations, high level equations, to explain how wealth grows and where wealth comes from and who has the most wealth and why. Right. And these are things that I'm sharing with you. So I want you to just practice that. Think big, think long term. And it's really hard, I know, in a world where not everybody thinks like that. Right. Even some of the people that are very close to you, people you love, people that you want to build with, they can't think that way, right? Because you find yourself in situations where you're trying to run a marathon with somebody who only wants to sprint. It's hard to run a marathon with a sprinter, right? So I encourage you to find other marathon runners. Train your kids to be marathon runners. Train your kids to think big. and wide and long term. And then you have your teammates, right? Or you can come to the All Black National Convention next week in Atlanta if you want to meet more of your other teammates, your long lost cousins, things like that. There are like minded people there. So feel free to go to allblacknationalconvention.com if you'd like to join us. Now, do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. You're watching the Black Financial Channel, and we're talking about Amazon's existential threat coming from Temu. If you could please hit that thumbs up button. And also, if you didn't get the profit alert, if you didn't get the text to come in today, you can get those profit alerts for free. I will send you a copy of our $5 a day investing plan for free. I will send you a list of AI stocks for free. I'll send you a training on how to make money without working for free, along with a lot of other stuff from the Black Business School. All you have to do is text the word stock to 31996. Text stock to 31996, and you will get all that for free. We want to do as much as we can to support you. The Black Business School, that's our institution. It's Black owned. We built that. We have 156,000 students worldwide, and we've helped over 10 million of our people invest for the first time. We solve problems. We don't just whine about stuff. We get stuff done. All right, so let me jump back into this Amazon thing. So this thing with Temu that's really interesting, and as I was reading about it this morning, when I got up super early, I noticed that Temu is not afraid to just sort of throw the kitchen sink financially at sort of establishing market share. And this is the type of business model actually that you saw a lot of American companies using back when money was cheap. TEMU, I think that's how you spell it. And back when interest rates were low, which wasn't that long ago, a lot of American companies did the same thing. In fact, Amazon kind of did that a little bit because they were losing billions of dollars for many years until they finally were able to make a profit. Disney tried the same thing with Disney Plus, and it almost looked like it could have worked because Disney Plus, if you remember, Disney was catching up with Netflix. They were getting tens of millions of subscribers on a regular basis. And then suddenly Disney kind of fell off. Suddenly Disney could not sustain the amount of money they were losing, especially in an environment where interest rates are going up. When interest rates go up, that's the cost of money going up. So when the cost of money went up, Disney shareholders said, stop, hold up, wait, you can't keep doing this. You can't keep bleeding money forever just so you can go dominate the world. We need you to pull it back and give us some profitability. So now, if you notice, Disney is starting to shed. Disney is kind of struggling a little bit. They were talking about selling ABC. Byron Allen wants to buy ABC. I saw Byron Allen do a really good interview where he explained why he'd like to own the ABC network, and he says he can bid $10 billion. And the next question they had for him was, where are you going to get the money? In case you don't know, these acquisitions, people don't use their own money. They go get the money from the bank, or they get the money from private equity, or they find investors or some group that can go make the purchase. So one of the biggest issues, one of the reasons why you and I can't do what Byron Allen's doing is because Byron somehow was able to unlock one of the most important elements for wealth building, which is access to capital. Like, so for example, I would put my financial understanding, my financial knowledge up to a guy like Elon Musk any day of the week. But the difference is that Elon Musk can go borrow $10-20 billion. I'd have a hard time borrowing $10-20 billion, especially for something like the Black Business School. But however, there are projects where some of that capital is being raised. I just spoke yesterday with Larry Miller. Larry Miller is the former CEO of the Air Jordan brand. Larry is a good friend of mine. I respect him immensely. And Larry is, he just talked to Nike, former Nike CEO or Nike founder, Phil Knight, and they actually raised $400 million to build. I can't remember the name of the project. Gosh, I can't. The name's not in my head. But it's literally they're going to pour this $400 million fund into building up a Black section of Portland. And I talked to Larry and I said, man, this is epic. I love this because this is real. This is serious. You're talking about serious money in a concentrated area to do a serious job. And I said, you know what? I love what you're doing so much. If you need any of my advice, formally or informally, if anything I can say or do that can help you with this, I'd be more than happy to do that, because this is the kind of transformative movement that is necessary to elevate the economic condition of the Black community. In case you guys know, I made no bones about the fact that I was skeptical of the whole, Black Lives Matter movement, where corporations are giving all this money. Nobody knows where the money's going. Nobody in the community can see the impact. Well, I like stuff where you can actually see the impact. Give me a yes if you understand what I'm saying. saying. I like the fact that up in Portland, Oregon, they are taking this money. I think it's the 1804 project or 1803 or something like that. Gosh, I wish I could remember what it's called, but it was beautiful. And I said, this is cool because people in that community are gonna see a difference. They're gonna be able to see buildings that didn't exist. They're gonna see corporations that didn't exist. They're gonna see community groups that didn't exist. Maybe they'll even start their own school system. I told them, I said, it'd be great to use some of that money to create like an economic incubator where you can just mass produce the next generation of kick butt entrepreneurs. I got excited because this is the kind of thing I was pitching to Kanye West when we were talking. I said, Adidas is sending you $20 million every 2 months. I said, with just one of those payments, you could literally develop an infrastructure that would change the Black community for the next 100 years. He didn't quite see the vision, but I believe at some point somebody will. I believe at some point somebody's going to say, yeah, this makes sense. And I've got 20 million. I was going to spend that on a new, some new $5 million Bentley and spend another 15 million on some nonsense. But instead, I'm going to develop some infrastructure. I'm going to do some grown man stuff with my money. I'm going to express economic maturity. Economic maturity, in case you don't know, in my book, The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power, I explain to you what economic maturity is. And it's not in any other textbook anywhere because we develop, our scientists in the Black Business School develop the terminology that will help us to understand the Black wealth problem. And so economic maturity basically kind of says, we're committed to doing grown-up stuff when it comes to our money. Like if you think about immaturity is like a child, right? Answer this in the chat. If you give a child money, a 5-year-old, and you say, what are you going to use that money for? What's a 5-year-old going to say? Answer in the chat. I'm gonna give you a second to answer. I know y'all probably laughing because I start off on we're talking about Amazon, but y'all know me. I got to bring it back to Black people because honestly, I don't dislike white. If you're white, you can hang out. You should hang out because intelligent Black people are going to lead the world. You should be learning from us, just like we go to your universities. You should be coming to ours. But really, I got to bring it back to Black folks because that's what God told me to do. So the child's gonna say, I'm gonna get some candy, I'm buying me a video game, I'm gonna go get me some shoes, right? Well, unfortunately, we have a lot of adults who think the same way. We have a lot of grown-ups who are 42-year-old children. So for the men, I have a term, I call it the bearded baby. You got the beard, you look like a man, maybe you smoke cigars and you drink liquor, but your behavior, unfortunately, has never been evolved to force you to do grown man stuff, mature stuff. So economic maturity, one aspect of that is to say when we have excess resources, it's not just time to go turn up at the club. It's not the time to just go buy a bunch of consumer items. It's not the time to just show flex with a new car. There's nothing wrong with going to the club. There's nothing wrong with new cars. I'm not judging any of that. But there must be first and foremost handling business first. Handling business first means that the first thing we're going to do is we're going to develop infrastructure for long-term sustainable wealth. Right. The number one, the first step in wealth accumulation is wealth preservation. Just like in football, the first job of the quarterback is not to score touchdowns. His first job is not to throw the ball. His first job is not to run the ball. His first job is what? Any football fans in here that can answer that question for me? His first job is to protect the ball. Protect the ball. Jalen Hurts, an amazing quarterback. I was just in Philadelphia the other day, so Jalen Hurts is on my mind. He's a great player. I'm so proud of him. Jalen Hurts would have won a Super Bowl last year, except for one play. Do y'all remember what that play was? Any football fans in the building? Well, let me tell you. If you don't remember, let me tell you what happened. He lost that game for one play when he got sacked and he fumbled the ball. He lost the ball. The Chiefs picked up the ball and they ran it in for a touchdown. That one play, not protecting the ball, cost Jalen Hurts his first Super Bowl. So my point is to say that in our community, we have to be very careful not to fumble the ball. So wealth preservation means that if I get access to some extra capital, if I get some extra bread, if I'm doing good right now, my first thought is, how do I take a moment and turn it into a lifetime? How do I take the term doing good to translate into always staying good? You understand, right? How do I go ahead and then on top of that, and if you're really trying to be economically mature, you say, how do I take the fact that I'm doing good to mean that not only am I going to stay good, but my kids are going to stay good, my grandkids are going to stay good, my great grandkids are going to stay good? Well, the first step in that process is don't fumble the ball. So that means that the wealth has to be turned into capital, which can then grow, which can develop infrastructure, which creates more wealth. So what I loved when I talked to Larry yesterday, Larry Miller, the former CEO of the Air Jordan brand. Again, he's the one that took Michael Jordan's company to what it is right now. Larry's a brilliant guy and a very good black man. I have so much respect for him. I'm honored that he's my friend. He came to the last all black national convention. These are the types of people that we look for the convention. We don't care about celebrities. I don't care how many hip hop albums you made. I don't care if white people put you on TV. I need to know what you actually did and what you did that really shows that you care specifically about our people, right? So Dr. Claude Anderson, in my mind, is far ahead of the hip hop moguls and all that, because Dr. Anderson cares only about black folks. But anyway, when we were talking, one thing he told me was that the CEO of this fund, where they raised this $400 million specifically for Black Portland, he said the first thing that the CEO said, I don't remember her name, but he said that her goal is to take the 400 million and use that as a seed to grow that into $1 billion. She said, that's a seed. That's the beginning. I said, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you think about wealth. That's how you think about capital. You don't say we got 400 million. Let's keep giving it all away until we dwindle down to nothing and have to pull our cup back out. No, she said, let's take this 400 million and do some grown-up stuff, engage in some economic maturity, and use this as a seed to grow something bigger. That requires vision. You have to have vision to be able to see that which is in front of you, it's either the end of your opportunity or it's the beginning, depending on how you view it. It can be either food or it can be a seed or it can be a little bit of both. So she sees that as a seed, and I just love it. So anyway, let me keep going. Let me get back to the Amazon topic, and then I'm going to give you the stock that I mentioned that I really like right now. So do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. I want to remind everybody, if you have children that you want to get ahead economically, our studies show that the earlier Black children are introduced to wealth, the better off they are. And so we have financial workbooks for kids and financial flashcards for kids. So if you'd like to go take a look at our financial workbooks for children, we work 3 years with experts to develop these workbooks because we believe in educating our children. That's one of our core values in the Black Business School. Just go to financialworkbooks.com. That's financialworkbooks.com. We also have flashcards at at financialflashcards.com. So feel free to go to financialflashcards.com and take a look at that. All right. So one thing about Amazon is that what's interesting about this attack from Amazon or from Temu that's sort of kicking Amazon in the butt or creating a massive threat for Amazon is that Amazon right now is also getting an internal threat. They're also getting some pushback from the federal government over this antitrust issue. Right now, the federal government has sued Amazon and Google for antitrust violations, claiming that Amazon is kind of being the bully on the block. They're stopping other companies from growing. They're harming their suppliers. They're freezing out their customers in certain ways. And all these things might be true, but that remark is kind of convoluted over the fact that they have this external threat coming from China. And China doesn't sort of look at antitrust issues the way we look at it. China says, let's build the biggest, baddest companies we can that are government supported so they can go out here and fight against everybody else. So they don't see the other Chinese companies necessarily as the enemy. They're seeing other countries as the enemy, as the adversary. So effectively, this is why in Asian countries, you tend to see the biggest banks, for example, because our banks can only get so big. And in e-commerce, it'll be interesting to see how the government balances the fact that you can make a legitimate argument that Amazon is a monopoly, that they are using that monopoly power to crush the competition, to harm their suppliers and harm their customers. I get all that, right? I agree 100%. I think that should be looked into. Our government doesn't do a very good job of doing that. But then when I look over here and I see Temu coming in and just eating up everything in sight, it makes me wonder, how do we balance between those two priorities? I don't know. I don't know how Amazon's going to resolve this. I just know that one thing I can tell you is that Amazon is getting really big into AI. I don't think Amazon is supportive of workers' rights and labor rights. I don't think corporate America in general is supportive of workers' rights, which is one of the reasons why I really want you to position your family long term to be investors, right? So, for example, if you text stock to 31996, I'll send you a list of AI stocks that I really like, because I think that you really want to make sure you're invested in these companies that are using AI, because Amazon's going to get rid of so many workers. So Microsoft's already said they're going to cut a big chunk of their workforce when AI AI rolls in, and they're not just talking about workers that do manual labor. Sure, Amazon's got robots. They're buying 1,000 robots a day, and those robots are going to be doing the heavy lifting and all that. They don't need bathroom breaks. They're not going to demand a pay raise. They're not going to try to unionize. They're just going to sort of do their job quietly, right? So Amazon is tech heavy in that regard. Microsoft isn't just going to replace manual laborers, though. They're going to replace computer programmers, right? So anybody remember the time where they were telling all black people to code? Like, everybody needs to learn how to code. Everybody needs to learn how to code. I'm gonna tell you, I question that, honestly, because has anybody seen how well ChatGPT can analyze a computer program? And what you got to understand that's really important about AI is that this is the beginning, people. This is not. It's not like, oh yeah, we've had this for a long time. It's gonna level off and decline. No, no, no. This is the beginning. 10 years from now, you're gonna laugh at how primitive AI was back in 2023 and how we were all freaked out by how amazing it was. It's going to look to us the same way. In 10 years, it'll look to us the same way we looked at maybe the first iPhones and things like that. Like, the first iPhones were amazing, back in 2008, 2007, whatever. But now we laugh at those phones. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that people thought this was a big deal, because it wasn't. So remember, thinking long term is critically important. If you're not investing, I encourage you to do that. There's one fund that's like an AI sort of mutual fund, is a AIQ. I buy consistent shares of AIQ. So feel free to go take a look at that. Because the world is changing, and you really want to make sure you're changing with it. And that's going to require sort of a constant rethinking of everything, even when you're sending your kids to college. And now college students can just write their research paper with ChatGPT in like 20 seconds. That doesn't mean that they don't need to be educated on something. So critical thinking skill, things like that, the ability to solve problems, the ability to learn new information is going to be so important in the future. So make sure your kids get ready, because I hate to tell you this, but a lot of our people are going to get left behind. There's nothing I can do about it. I try my best. I share what I know. Unfortunately, in a chaotic world where there's a lot of distrust and a lot of distraction, some people just don't hear these messages. But I'm here to tell you and your kids, make sure you get ready, because the thing about it is that while it seems like a period of despair, it seems like a period where there's a lot to worry about, it's also a period of tremendous opportunity. It's an amazing opportunity for those families that can kind of get ahead, get on top of these things. And I encourage you to do that. All right. And that's what we're trying to do in the Black Business School. And by the way, one thing that we're also doing is we're moving away from Instagram and Facebook and all that. We had so many problems with Facebook. And even though our platform's big, like, we have 2 channels right now that have over 500,000 or approaching 500,000 subscribers. So we're doing good, right? Our Black-owned media is doing great, but we did lose a channel. We lost our Instagram page. It had 430,000 followers on it. My new Instagram is Dr. Boyce Finance. If you want to go follow me there, feel free, Dr. Boyce Finance. But what we're doing for long term, again, because we want to think long term in our investment strategy, is we're actually building a platform that's off Facebook, off Instagram, that allows for complete freedom of speech, that is built for the B1 community. So that platform right now, it's called Blaggenuf, and it's spelled BLAGGENUF.com. So go to blaggenuf.com. You have to answer 3 quick questions. We just got to make sure we know who you are, so we're not letting just any old Tom, Dick, and Harry in. And this is a place where you can connect with other like-minded people from the B1 community. But just so you know, please don't bring any nonsense or any chaos or any ignorance, because we have moderators that will put people out who distract from the mission. But we're actually going to rebrand it as B1 Nation. We just haven't done that yet. So for now, you can go to blaggenuf.com. So the URL is right there on the screen. I'm also going to do our book clubs out of Blaggenuf. So make sure you join now, so that when we do the next book club meetings and all that, you'll be ready. All right. So let me give you guys the stock that I like right now. This stock is I'm going to mispronounce the word. Please hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up. Make sure you hit the notification bell. So this stock that I like, that I'm actually going to buy right now, is Alenilam Pharmaceuticals. I hope I probably said it wrong, but it's Alenilam. Let me spell it, and then I'm going to give you the ticker symbol. Alenilam is ALNYLAM. ALNYLAM. But don't worry about that. Just worry about the ticker symbol. The ticker symbel is ALNY. ALNY. So that's Alpha Llama. I'm trying to learn the phonetic alphabet, because you guys know I'm doing flight lessons. I'm flying airplanes and stuff. I should know what the N stands for, but I'm gonna say Nancy, even though I know November. It's November, right? November Yankee. So Alpha Alpha Lima November Yankee, ALNY. So feel free to go take a look at that. And and also, when you go to Black Enough, if you're already a member, we'd appreciate if you guys got in there and started having conversations with each other. Come in and share content that you like. It's positive stuff, good stuff, and let's talk more, let's connect more, so that we can all sort of make each other better. That's the goal. Positive growth, all these things. That's what we believe in. That's what we're sticking to, and that's what's going to happen next week at the All Black National Convention. That's our flagship event. That's when everybody gets together in a physical space. You can hug each other. I'll be there. My wife will be there. We're going to have the leading Black thinkers on the planet all in the same building in order to specifically solve Black problems. And we're doing it in a way that isn't sort of overwhelmed with a lot of celebrity nonsense. We don't take sponsorship from big corporations. We also don't take any money from the Democrat or Republican parties. So this is not going to be biased in those ways. The only bias we will have, and we're very proud of this bias, is that our number one goal is to say, how do we make the Black community better next generation? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how to save everybody. I'm not trying to save everybody. We can't save everybody, but I am here to help those who want to do better, who want to improve. So if you'd like to join us for the convention, just go to allblacknationalconvention.com. And we do have a couple vendor spots left if you'd like to become a vendor or a sponsor and market your business. And then last but not least, if you'd like to take a look at our financial flashcards for children, you can go to financialflashcards.com. That's financialflashcards.com. So I want to say thank you all very much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you for giving me your time. I hope that this discussion was beneficial to you. Feel free to look up my name on Spotify and Apple if you want to listen while you're in your car. And my goal is to give you value every day. And I'm going to try to get in that routine of doing kind of a money in the morning sort of thing. So you can expect this to sort of happen each morning. So make sure you hit the notification bell, and I'll let you guys know when we're going live. So God bless you. Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care now. Peace.